Excuse me, I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having. Oh, it's right here. Oh, hey, holy cow. Wow, we haven't seen you guys since season 3. It's now season 4. We missed you guys a lot. You know, you've been busy. We've been, making short films, hanging out, doing pizza stuff. You know the drill. Well, anyway, this is the most romantic day of the year. And we know exactly what you want for Valentine's Day. We know that you want the Peps sausage chaser. It's a Wisconsin staple. You got your cheese on a pizza, obviously, your mushroom, your onion, your sausage, of course your sausage. Need it, gotta have it. But anyway, let's try this out. Just once. For our Peps Drafthaus sausage chaser pizza, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm feeling it, baby. And place pizza frozen directly on center rack of oven. Bake for approximately 17 to 22 minutes or until cheese is golden brown. In this meanwhile, we're going to be talking about romance, and we're going to be talking about comedy. We're talking about the kind of flick that, sets the mood. We're talking rom-coms. The bane of everyone's existence. And I know just the guy to talk about rom-coms because he's seen more of them than anybody. We're talking about Sexy Sergio, aka Corn Dog McGee. You know why he got that name? Come on over here, Sergio. Come on over here, you sexy, sexy man. Hey.
Okay, we'll have to cut that because the framing is super weird.
Hello again. I haven't seen you guys since episode 1, season 3, which was like a year ago. And when I came on the screen last time, I talked about pro wrestling, which is something I love. But I also really love rom-coms. I think they get a bad rap and it's really easy to dismiss them. But there's like a real reason why they still exist, why people still watch them, why there's whole channels dedicated to these kind of terrible movies. And you've got your How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, you've got your Maids in Manhattans, which is a highly underrated, very good movie. And with that being said, I just think that I could maybe show you guys a couple rom-coms that are really, really good and maybe not what you'd expect. I made a list of like 5 of them, and I think like one is the quintessential greatest rom-com ever made that you probably don't even consider a rom-com. So first on the list is They Came Together, which was directed by like David Wayne and stars Paul Rudd and Amy Poehler. So if you like those two and they're super adorable, this is like those two in a rom-com that is like Airplane. So it like makes fun of all of those tropes, like running in the street to go, find your true love and stop them from like leaving town. The weird makeout scenes, and there's a bunch of them that are just like so absurd and weird that you guys are you're gonna love it. The next movie is The Big Sick, and that was directed by David Wayne's partner Michael Showalter, who he's like one of my favorite directors. He's like the co-creator of Wet Hot American Summer and Stella and The State, so he's done a bunch of cool stuff. But it stars Kumail Nanjiani, and it's based on him and his wife Emily, who at the beginning of their relationship, she like goes into a coma. That's not a spoiler, but it's essentially like him trying to be a better boyfriend while that happens. It's actually funny. I know that Girlfriend in a Coma doesn't sound like a comedy, But it's really good. It's really down to earth. So the parents are played by Ray Romano and Holly Hunter, and they're fantastic. And it's just like this really grounded comedy film that's like a situational thing, but it is ultimately like a rom-com tilted on its side.
No, what's your stance?
What's my stance on 9/11?
Oh, anti. It was a tragedy. I mean, we lost 19 of our best guys.
Next film on the list is The Baxter. The Baxter is a movie that I hold near and dear to my heart, and it's directed again by Michael Showalter. It stars Michael Showalter and Michelle Williams and Justin Theroux. It's about the guy who in most rom-coms gets left at the altar, or the really nice guy at the end of like Home Sweet Alabama when like Reese Witherspoon picks that redneck hick who's super toxic, and then Patrick Dempsey gets left there. It's about Patrick Dempsey, who's still like a good dude, and you're like, I really hope he finds like true love because he was too good for that Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, it's called The Baxter, and like these guys who keep getting dipped out on by like the loves of their lives, and this movie's about that. Nobody's ever seen this because it's like an independent film, but it's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time and has been for like a decade.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the dictionary for?
You won't believe this, but it's actually what I'm reading at the moment. I know.
Wait, before you say anything else, I need you to know that I am also reading the dictionary.
And another one that is highly underrated, but I think you guys may have seen it or may not have seen it, but I Love You Man. I Love You Man is a bro version of a rom-com about these two dudes that fall in love, but it's like a platonic thing. Maybe not the most traditional rom-com thing, but it's like Jason Segel and again, the most adorable man, Paul Rudd. It's fucking awesome. It's so well written and kind of funny. The whole crop dusting scene, remember when they go to that open house, Bill? And he's like, that dude just crop dusted your open house.
You got it, Jobin. What? Nothing.
But the number one best rom-com of all time, and you guys have probably already seen it, and if not, you suck, is The Wedding Singer. I think everybody forgets that this movie is a rom-com, and they just think of it as an Adam Sandler movie. But not only is it the best Adam Sandler movie, it's the best rom-com of all time. Drew Barrymore is gonna be Julia Gulia, and like, there's so many great lines, and all the characters are so great. It's one of the few Adam Sandler movies that you can watch now and not feel like, oh, that's kind of a gross joke now. Like, there's just a lot of good stuff. The soundtrack is the whole thing with John Lovitz and the curtain, which is like my favorite scene in almost any movie. There's so many good parts in this movie. And Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore have like the best chemistry between two people in any movie that I've... Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist ain't got shit on The Wedding Singer. Not that that's a bad movie or anything, but I'm just saying. 50 First Dates is great, but none of those could ever compare to The Wedding Singer and how great that movie is. Not a lot of minorities though, so that's a little weird. Anyway, the movie's white as f***, but it's really, really good.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
So those are all a bunch of movies I think you could like. Pop in the DVD player, find it on streaming. They're all incredible films that are just not what you think a rom-com is. And at the end of the day, rom-coms are all about finding basic human connection and someone you love and being able to share that life with them. And like, that's kind of the base of this show is like, we love pizza and we want to share it with all these people. That's it, man. Like, give them another shot. I know they're low-hanging fruit for us to this, but let's eat that sausage chaser.
Hey everybody, we got the Peps Drafthaus sausage chaser out of the oven. And now I will commence putting it in my mouth. So, as you can see, there's a lot of cheese on this, and that is one big, giant sausage right on the tip. That's gonna go right in my mouth. I don't know if I've ever felt this way before. Lots of cheese on this, all over my mouth. Very small bits of mushroom, and you know, it's not a very overwhelming flavor. But man, there's a lot of cheese and there's a lot of flavor on that cheese. You're getting, you know, I think all these oils, I think they're from the cheese. And that crust right on the bottom. Crunchy. Delicious. But soft on the top where the sauce sits. Not a whole bunch of sauce, but it's kind of a, I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it's good. And the red onion, there's not a lot of red onion on this, but that's okay. We don't want the onion to overpower the pizza. I can't get over the crunch of the crust and how much cheese is on this. Wow, it's very playful in my mouth. Perfection. I bit off a little more than I could handle right there. But wow, there's so much cheese, and there's a lot of sauce too. Look at that. It's coming right out of the sausage. Right there. Oh, it's delicious. I can't wait for the rest of the party to try this. So let's go see what they have to say. So that pizza made sweet, passionate love to our mouths. And here's the scores for it. For our crust, we got a 5 out of 8 slices. It was good. It was crunchy. There was a little more flavor in it. A little doughy by the sauce. You know, a little thicker. It's very similar to a tombstone crust. For our sauce, we got a 6.5 out of 8 slices because, you know, it was a lot of sauce in certain parts. Some of us didn't get as much sauce as the other. You know, remember, pizza's opinionated. It depends what you like. What do you like? I hope it's sauce. Anyway, enough about you and I. Let's get back to the pizza. For our cheese, we got an 8 out of 8 slices because, ooh baby, there was a lot of cheese on that pie and it was stretching all over the place and just going down our throat hole, and it was delicious. For our toppings, we got a 7 out of 8 slices because that was a lot of sausage. That was a lot of sausage, and the onions and everything else that were on it, you know, it was just the perfect amount and a wonderful flavor. And our overall score, we got a 6 3/4 slice out of 8. And this pie comes in at $9.99. So it's kind of an expensive pie, but these are all very fresh ingredients. I mean, for a frozen pizza, they're fresh ingredients, as fresh as you can honestly get. And the cheese, lots and lots of cheese. You're definitely paying for what you get. And you get a lot of cheese, a lot of veggies, a whole bunch of crust, and just deliciousness all over yourself. When you eat it, it gets all over. And it's wonderful. And I recommend you go out and you try it. So go now. I'll wait here. Hate to see you go, but I love to watch you walk away. Anyway, everyone, remember to hit the like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. Hit the bell. Pizza is love. Hashtag home team, baby. Happy Valentine's Day.